Let's talk about another headline here, and that's the Hollywood writer's strike has finally come to a close after 148 days. The WGA strike was just shy of becoming the longest running strike in Hollywood history, falling short of the 154-day strike back in 1988. Let's bring Yahoo Finance's Akiko Fujita to give us more insight into the contract, what we know about this agreement. Akiko.
Good morning to you, Shauna. That's right. Well, this deal still needs to be ratified by members of the Writers Guild. But for the first time today, writers do have the green light to go back on the job after 5 months off the job. Now, the final deal that was reached between the WGA and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers points to a real shift here in the way that writers are now compensated in the streaming era. Specifically, writers will receive a pay increase ranging from 3.5% to 5% over the course of the 3-year contract. Members will now be eligible for residuals based on streaming views, with a 50% bonus baked in for projects viewed by 20% of a given platform subscribers, and that is over the course of the initial 90 days of release. Writers also secured protections against artificial intelligence, a key sticking point here for rewriting original materials or source material. That means studios will now be required to disclose to writers whether, in fact, source material was generated by AI. And studios will also be required to staff a minimum of 3 writer-producers for first-season shows that have a runtime of roughly 20 weeks or more. Now, while writers have a deal in hand, major production for content isn't expected to resume, largely because there are no actors to go forward on scripted content. Members of SAG-AFTRA remain on strike. If the union does not reach an agreement soon, production is likely to be pushed back even further. Now, meantime, the economic impact from this strike continues to ripple across the region, with everybody from caterers to dry cleaners, as well as restaurants, all on hold over the last 5 months. The latest numbers from the Milken Institute estimate it's already taken $5 billion from the region, guys.
And so are there portions or at least elements of what the WGA is voting for and their attempt to ratify an agreement that could also be passed through into the actor side as well, Akiko?
Well, artificial intelligence certainly a significant one. In the case of SAG-AFTRA, they are looking for protections, especially for background actors. We know them as sort of extras. That's sort of been the traditional term here. But background actors sort of arguing that they shouldn't be able to have actors scanned, only to have AI sort of generate them in the background. So that's one of many issues here. It's worth noting, though, SAG-AFTRA and the AMPTP have not met in roughly 2 months. There is no schedule, at least a meeting on the table right now. But the expectation is now that there is a WGA deal on the table, SAG-AFTRA is next in line. The hope is things could get resolved pretty quickly there, so the year is not a wash.